Well, I'm liking this one way too much. Kind of probably pointed that out in the unboxing, but this is the Bell & Ross BR-03, the newer, smaller size, limited edition Horizon, sent in by Exquisite Timepieces, Naples, Florida. All the information down below, direct link to this watch. They have it in stock, obviously. It's right here in my hands. And contact information to get a hold of my guy, Tyler. Tell him I sent you for the best opportunity. So, I've actually been a huge fan of Bell & Ross for a long time. I've never owned one. And if I did, this one would be high on the list. I was talking to Tyler a little bit back and forth about this particular one just because it's just wild and crazy. And I like to fly. I'm not a pilot, but I do like air travel and I know a little bit about it. This is basically the gauge in, the instrument cluster panels, whatever, in the aircraft, called the attitude indicator. And it is a representation of the horizon. So blue, sky, black, tarmac, ground. So in the aircraft, it does a lot more. This one, it just kind of turns around. And let me grab my pointer. I'm going to get into the details here in a minute, but I want to, first and foremost, I want to show you how it works. So clearly you have the seconds hand spinning, and it is a full balance. It's a black on the one side and then black and white striped on the other. This white hand here, that's your minute hand, and then that triangle there at the top of the horizon is your hour. And then these are your hour markers. So it's basically, what, 12:42. So, because I posted up a couple of pictures and right away people are like, but how do you tell time? Yeah, it's not conventional. It's not like say like a Seiko SKX or like pick any other watch. It's a little different, but it's the same thing. Basically, the hour hand is the complete dial, which is a departure from a normal, if you will, watch in a traditional hour and minute hand. So the whole dial spins. That's right. You can go inverted at, in between 3 and 9, you're inverted. You're upside down. So be careful. Let's get into the size, and then I'll go ahead and spin that guy so you can see it go inverted. It's just fun. It's unique. It's fun. It is limited edition, which also resonates with me. So the case size on this is 41 millimeter wide. It's like 41.1, but it's 41. Lug to lug is a 50 millimeter. You have drilled lugs. Signed crown, push-pull crown, 100-meter water resist. The thickness of this is only 10.9 millimeter. Flat sapphire crystal up top. Bunch of details, information on the backside. Limited to 999. This is number 61. And then you have a 24 millimeter lug opening. The strap widens to meet the lugs, the width of the lugs. That's standard for Bell & Ross. They've been doing that for a long time. And then it tapers back down to, I didn't measure. Let's measure right now. It tapers back down to like 22 millimeter. So on wrist, it really like just kind of hugs your wrist. It's one of those almost like if you were going to wear like a bun strap or something. It has that same kind of feel to it. And then you have that signed crown push-pull. It's 7 millimeter with nice knurling, plenty of grip. I'm going to give you the weight on this one. I don't always give you the weight, but it is 132 grams. The reason I say that is because it's on rubber, but this is a ceramic case. And I thought it would be a little bit lighter, but ceramic's heavy sometimes too, I guess. So 132 gram. So it has a little bit of weight to it, more than what you would expect. Like it has a little bit of weight to it. 132 gram. So it is what it is. The movement inside is an automatic. They call it the BR caliber 327 54-hour power reserve. It's a Sellita SW300. And you can kind of tell if you've been around watches enough. I should actually, I don't know if I could show this, but if you ever have the chance to wind an SW300 versus an SW200, the SW200 is more tactile. You will feel the resistance. You will feel the winding of it. And SW300 is so smooth that you almost have to hold it up to your ear and you're going like, am I actually winding this or not? And then you see the seconds hand pop off, not pop off, but like start to turn. And you're like, oh, so the SW300 is a different movement. It's refined. It's much like a ETA 2824 versus, say, a 2892 or 93 or whatever. And same thing with the 300s or 330s. They're different in their winding mechanism. You don't get the feedback. You don't feel it. Now, this one does have a lot of resistance on it, but that's because Bell & Ross used really good gaskets to keep that 100-meter water resist on there. So it's a little tight feeling, but you don't feel the movement winding. It's a little strange at first, but it's refined. So let's go ahead and pop this crown out so we can adjust the time. And I want to show you the inverted mode of this watch. So yeah. So for example, that would be 6 o'clock. You know, there's no way to AM PM this because it's no date. But we'll go ahead and put it up top again because I don't like to fly upside down. I prefer to fly normal. So there's your 12. So we'll go ahead and just put it back to kind of where we were. The other thing I want to point out, and we can do that on close-up, is the overall construction of this. So you have that bar going all the way across, and that's what gives you your reference. So if you're flying by gauge without, you know, you have to fly instruments, you have that definitive bar. That's your marker. But if you look at the seconds hand, it actually goes a little bit underneath that hour marker ring, hour minute marker ring. So it actually does protrude underneath it a little bit. It's kind of hard to see, but it does go, it floats underneath it, as does the minute hand, quite frankly. So it's a very cool, unique, designed, and executed watch. It really resonates with me. These screws up top, I do not believe are functional. Those are just decorative. If they weren't there, it would look weird. The ones on the back are functional. Those do actually hold down the case back. Let's pop this on wrist, and then the parting fun feature is the lume shot. I'll show you that here in a moment. But here it is on my 7¼ inch wrist. Like I said, I'm extremely tempted by this because it is just unique. I think I'm ready in my collection to kind of move some normal watches. Yeah, they might be colorful, but overall they're cliche or boring in my opinion. I would like to have more watches that are unique, even if they're not. So yeah, like even like the Squale's, which Exquisite carries those too, because they're authorized dealer for over 60 brands. So Squale, Bell & Ross, all that stuff. But this one is unique. It has a, you know, the crowns up here, and it's a different configuration of everything. It's unique. It's not just the run-of-the-mill 1521, which, you know, Exquisite has those options, as well as the safe watches. Not you're putting them in a safe. I mean, you know, it's a standard watch. You're not going to, like, you know, come home and your wife look at it and go like, what the hell are you wearing that for? That's crazy. Which is exactly what my wife said when I showed her this. She was very like, okay, I don't get it. Which, again, kind of makes me like it a little bit more. But let me lume this thing up, turn off the studio lights, and check out this lume. It's pretty fun as well. So, day or night, you need to have that attitude indicator so you know that you're on the level. Thanks for watching, guys. And again, big thanks to Exquisite Timepieces for sharing the coolest watches with me so I can share them with you. I'll see you on the next one.